we cover a lot of topics today. The Asia Cup 2025 will kick off. SA's first ODI series win in England since 1998. Obviously, very disappointing final ODI, but lots of positives to take from that series. Ross Taylor is back, guys. The old New Zealand legend is playing for Samoa in the T20 World Cup qualifiers. Very excited to watch him play on the park again. Alcaraz wins the US Open tennis, and Saurav Ganguly Dada is set to lead the Pretoria Capitals in this year's SA20. It's all on the 360 show. Let's go. All right, let's jump straight into it, starting off with the 360 view this week. I've got four main topics for you guys, and we will start with the South African tour of England. 6 minutes, 360 seconds. Here we go. ODI series ends 2-1 to South Africa, but a very bitter pill to swallow in that final ODI at Southampton. A terrible, terrible defeat, over 300 runs. It's not something the Proteas will be proud of, but still a series win. So a huge, big, mixed bag of emotions. And that is unfortunately what the Proteas have been all about over the last few years. A little bit inconsistent, winning trophies and then taking big losses along the way. Very weird, but it does come with inexperience. Lots of youngsters there, lots of players still trying to find their feet. Some senior guys sort of getting into the leadership roles, fresh faces, inexperienced faces, and that unfortunately comes with a bit of inconsistency. But guys, there is no hiding away from the fact that the Proteas have been incredible of late. ODI series win in Australia, ODI series win in England, WTC champions, trophies coming home. And they're definitely on the right track. But I would love for them to start being a bit more consistent. And you never want to lose. But if you do lose, you want to still feel like you competed. And unfortunately, they can't say that about the game in Southampton. But it is a fresh start, and that takes me to topic number 2 with England against South Africa in T20s. That series will start in Cardiff on the 10th. It's just around the corner. Second one in Manchester, and the third one in Nottingham. Now, South Africa lost the T20 series in Australia. They will try and make amends for that. And England, I mean, with Brendan McCullum as the white ball coach now, almost a fresh start for them as well, right? In a certain way. Still a lot of faces we'll recognize, like a Josh Butler. There are lots of key players like that. Archer bowling rockets again, Adil Rashid, Jacob Bethel, all key players, Will Jacks. But in a way, they have been playing together for a while. But I think we will see some baseball cricket again. Lots of positive stuff, challenging the bowlers, especially with the batters, right? They're very aggressive. And with that bowling attack, you can also, in a way, play baseball, have very attacking mindset. So it'll be interesting to see how England goes about it. They have been really good in T20, in white ball cricket in the last few years. Also inconsistent, similar to South Africa. They've won only 4 out of the last 8 T20s. But in a certain way, they have changed the way they play the white ball game over the last few years. Remember winning the ODI World Cup in England, also T20 World Cup winners. So something has changed there. And with Brendan McCullum as coach, it's going to be exciting to see what they come up with. For South Africa, on the other hand, a 2-1 defeat there in Australia, so they'll try and sort of get things together. I think there were lots of positives in Australia. I think of guys like a Devil Brevis with his first T20 100, that very fast 100, fastest of any South African ever, which was fantastic to watch. Tristan Stubbs, KG Rabada, Maharaj, Rickleton, Marco Jansen is back. All key players for the South African team. And obviously, all these teams will start to think about the T20 World Cup. That's also just around the corner. It's not that far away anymore, guys. So lots of focus on that. They'll try and get the combinations right, understand which players are ready for the pressure moments and who is not. That will be the focus. And all the action of this T20 international series between South Africa and England, you've guessed it, is on FanCode. So get your account ready and make sure you do not miss any of the action. Moving on to topic 3, the Asia Cup 2025. There's some big clashes, including India and Pakistan. But we don't start with that. The first game, I think, if I'm not mistaken, India will be playing. Let me just make 100% sure for you guys as I'm losing time. India will be playing UAE first up. And also Pakistan will start against Oman. But that big clash between Pakistan and India will be this coming Sunday. So very much looking forward to that. Group A, India, Pakistan, Oman, and UAE. You've guessed that obviously India and Pakistan, I think, will be favourites to go through. But with Group B, it's a little bit more tricky there. As Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Hong Kong find themselves in the same group. There will be a bit of an upset there as two of the teams will move on before the big Super Fours, right? That's where we start getting the knockouts. Going to be great. I mean, great squads for India, Pakistan. I would say Sri Lanka, to a certain extent, have reason to be confident as well. Always the dark horses, Afghanistan, Bangladesh to a certain extent as well. It's just going to be great to see 8 teams take it to each other, and we'll see who the powerhouses are. Obviously, India will be my favourites as per usual. They're just a powerhouse team with lots of experience, lots of youth as well, lots of talent, and I think their bases are all covered. But we'll see what happens there, guys. Exciting cricket just around the corner for you all. Ross Taylor is back. Yes, you've heard right. His mother is from Samoan descent, and Ross makes a comeback at the age of 41 in the upcoming ICC T20 World Cup East Asia Pacific qualifier for next year's Men T20 World Cup. That is very exciting, guys. I've played a lot of cricket against Ross Taylor. A lot of respect for him. He was also a former RCB player. Don't forget that. So it's great to see one of the greats of the game return to play a bit of cricket. And hopefully you will do well for Samoa. There are lots of players like Roelof van der Merwe, David Wiese, Rusty Theron, all South Africans who played for different countries over the years. You know all about Joe Burns, right? Also helping Italy qualify. I'll just finish that topic as my time is up. The former Australian player Joe Burns also helping Italy to qualify for the World Cup. So very interesting topic that I would like to hear what you guys think. Mixed feelings for me as some South Africans all of a sudden went to represent Namibia and the USA, the Netherlands, like Roelof van der Merwe, who played for the Netherlands. But at the end of the day, that's where the world's gone, right? With the IPL, different leagues around the world. Look at the American sport as well, baseball, American football. It's all just the global way of looking at things, where it doesn't almost matter anymore where you come from. You almost just sort of take part in a brand. You form part of a brand, right? So when I played for RCB, for instance, I became part of that franchise. Now I know this is international cricket and a little bit different, but still, it is really good for the associate countries, for the smaller countries that don't get a lot of exposure, to get some former international players to play for them. I see the positives in that. I understand that people sometimes may be confused with, why is that South African dude playing for Namibia all of a sudden? How does that work? But it's all legal, all legit. Obviously, there is that standoff period of 3 years. So these guys go and put the work in. They represent the domestic circuit for a number of years, and then they qualify to actually represent the country. All legal, all legit, and at the end of the day, I think it is good for the strength of certain countries and to help them grow. All right, so I went over my 360 seconds, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll now move on to AB Reacts. Let's quickly run through my reactions on some of the things that happened over the weekend, and some of the news that came out. Obviously, you guys know I love tennis. So the US Open took place over the last couple of weeks, and Carlos Alcaraz went on to win another major. I'm not exactly sure how many it is now. I think I'm guessing 5, maybe 4. But he's definitely on the up, on his way to become one of the greatest tennis players of all time, as he's still only 22 years old. It's actually a bit... it's a bit crazy. I don't know what else to say. If this guy stays fit for the next 10, 12 years, the sky's pretty much the limit. And it only looks like a Yannick Sinner is the only guy who could possibly stop him from winning every single major. Even though Carlos blew him completely away yesterday, or sorry, not yesterday, on Sunday. It was a fantastic final. I just stayed up to watch it because I am a bit of a tennis fanatic. I don't like to miss, and I'm also a Sinner fan, more so than Alcaraz. I love Alcaraz as well. Very similar to me with Nadal and Federer back in the day. I was more of a Federer fan initially, but I did enjoy Nadal's fighting spirit. And ultimately, at the back end of their careers, when Federer was almost done, I started liking Nadal a bit more. So I'm one of those sporting fans. I won't say I jump ship, but I just appreciate great play. I appreciate a never say die attitude. I appreciate finesse, obviously. But anyway, I like Sinner more because he's down to earth, and I feel he's got an incredible fighting spirit as well. He stays calm, even though the crowd hardly ever picks his side. I don't know why. Obviously, it's probably got to do with Alcaraz and his entertainment, and he is more engaging with the fans. Where Sinner just keeps it all in. He just looks like a genuinely humble person, and I love watching him play. Anyway, so I was a little bit sad, but very happy for Alcaraz as well. As it is just, we are all so privileged to have two players like this in the same era. Once again, we thought we're never going to get a Federer, Nadal, Djokovic kind of thing going again, and here we are. I think we're on the brink of the start of the next 10 incredible years. Hopefully, two more great players join them. Anyway, to the women's game, Sabalenka just too good in that final again. We saw an opponent. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. And the Samoa, I think I'm right with that. Anyway, we saw her being very emotional at the back end. It's happened before as she lost, I think 6-0, 6-0 at the Wimbledon in that final. And here she was again, obviously expecting to make a bit of a comeback. And unfortunately for her, Sabalenka just too strong. And I think for Anisimova, the theme will be never say die. She's got to stand up from this. She's definitely got the skill and the power to be great. So I'm really hoping for her to make a comeback. But Sabalenka has been amazing on an absolute run, dominating world tennis. The minute Swiatek fell out, it was all about Reina Sabalenka. Amit Mishra, guys, he retires at the age of 42. I played with Mish. I played against him. Lots of great battles against him. I got on top of him a few times. He got me out a few times. Just a world of respect for him and the great skill that he has as a leg spin bowler. 25 years of cricket, playing every single IPL from 2008 to 2024, except for missing out in 2022. What a fantastic career, Mish. Well done. And I know all your fans are very proud of you. Saurav Ganguly, guys, I briefly touched on that with the intro. He will be joining forces with the Pretoria Capitals, which is my home team. By the way, just between us, I knew about this about 3 weeks ago already. So it's not news to me because I spoke to Dada privately about some private stuff, which I'm not going to share here. But I did know way in advance that the Pretoria Capitals will be coached by him. It's fantastic for us. But unfortunately, no Indian players in the final auction, which is very disappointing for me. And I really hope we can start breaking down those chains and the shackles of the Indian players not taking part in the SA20. Please, please, my Indian friends, former players, obviously guys who are not contracted by the BCCI, put your names in the hat and come and play a bit of cricket in South Africa. What a fantastic tournament the SA20 is, and I love being a part of it. And I think this year is going to be even bigger and better than before. Season 4, obviously defending champions, my Cape Town. You know the link they have with the Mumbai Indians. So they won last year. Before that, back-to-back winners, Sunrisers Eastern Cape. But we'll see. Maybe we crown a new winner this coming year. Maybe the Pretoria Capitals under Saurav Ganguly will have their best season yet. We'll have to wait and see. That's it for AB Reacts. Let's move on to the Combox, as I saw a lot of interaction from you guys with the Devil Brevis interview, and I would like to thank you all for taking part in that and enjoying the interview. I obviously have a lot of respect for him, a great relationship, the two of us. I did say one or two things that might have been misunderstood about CSK. I actually spoke about Chennai as a city. I actually tweeted about it not long ago. When you scored that 100, I thought it's time to sort of just let the world know what I think about the whole IPL auction that took place. And obviously, some of the teams will be licking their wounds, feeling like they missed out. But ultimately, CSK looked after you really well, was happy to sort of meet you halfway and give you the opportunities that you deserve. And I think you had a great start in the IPL. And what I was referring to had nothing to do with the fact that I don't like Chennai. I have the world of respect for the city and for CSK. So just to clear that up, I was a bit tongue in the cheek with him because I obviously wanted for many, many years for Devil Brevis to join RCB, guys. So, and I even tweeted about it. And I was specifically referring to RCB, by the way, saying, why did you guys not pick him up at the auction? He would have been even cheaper than he is now. And you could have signed him up for many years. Anyway, Brevis is with CSK. I respect the city and the team. Just to clear that up, I think there was a bit of a language barrier. I don't know. I'm South African and English is my second language, so maybe just give me a break there. Anyway, Lerato, thanks for this great interview, very informative, and it's great to see AB give back to the school that I went. It's my roots, guys, and Brevis spoke about that as well, going back to your roots, and I love that about a youngster who's still very inexperienced who speaks like that, because you can very quickly get ahead of yourself, lose focus about your journey and where you're headed as a player. And he still remembers why he is where he is now. It's because of his roots and what he learned at a young age. And he always tells himself to check in with that. So I love that. The way he answered, so good and matured for a 22-year-old. We have 40 something people blaming each other. I don't understand that. But anyway, thanks for that comment. I also think he's quite matured for his age. Very special. The Legend of Bagger Vance is the movie AB is talking about. You are absolutely right. And thank you for clearing that out with me. What a great movie. Will Smith, Matt Damon, Charlize Theron. And I watched that movie many, many years ago. And he speaks about his authentic swing, finding that authentic swing. And I sort of stole that phrase. And I use that every single time I speak to youngsters. I've got a session in about 20 minutes at Centurion Park again, where I work with some of the young up-and-coming players. And I'll always tell them, yes, keep an eye on other players, and you can learn from their trigger movements, what they do, how they handle certain situations. But do not try and be like them with everything that you do. You got to find your authentic self. And that's what we call it. So let's move on, guys. That's it for the comms box. Too cool for school then. As I sort of stumbled across the new world record for 3 bottles being flipped in 0.97 seconds. Why I brought this up is because my children, I think they play this about 3 hours every single day. It's obviously a trending thing with the youngsters, but I stumbled across this and thought it would be interesting. 3 bottles were flipped successfully by Rocco Mercurio from Italy. Absolutely incredible. So let's have a look at this video. Look at the pace of this and how quick this happens. That is crazy. I think my kids will beat that one day, actually. It's fast, but I reckon he can be even faster if he's not making those noises. I don't even know what he's shouting. Maybe it's C, what Cristiano Ronaldo says, perhaps. By the way, I have a little bit of footage of me doing bottle flipping with the Supply 6 team. I wasn't as good as the Italian Rocco Mercurio, but finally got it right at least. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's have a look. Round number 3. We are useless, by the way. Bottle flip and 360 challenge is on. Hi there, everyone. This is the Supply 6 360 challenge. Yep, so that is it. Not as good as the Italian world champion, but at least got it right at the end there. But it's just a trailer, guys. The full video will be released on Instagram later this week, so keep an eye out for that. Put that notifications on Instagram, not only on Instagram, but on YouTube as well, so that you make sure you do not miss anything that I get up to. And finally, a very important reminder, in case you missed it earlier, all the action, the live action between South Africa and England in the T20 International Series will be live on FanCode. So make sure you do not miss any of that. Guys, have a great week. I will be seeing you this coming weekend on 360 Live. Bye now. Are you happy? Aria's happy. Woohoo! Right.